Canada would have more if we had proper stadium to host these kind of events. But right now, as a country, you have a minimum seating requirement as per FIFA to host these events. We don't have the facilities. As I'm proudly wearing our new True Patriot Love Media polo shirts, I'm also thinking about True Patriot Love and Canadian Pride going to be on display Friday, June 12th. History Made as Canada will host their first ever FIFA World Cup soccer match taking place at Toronto Stadium, not BMO Field, during the World Cup, as Canada will take on Bosnia and Herzegovina. But at what cost do you and I, the taxpayer, to talk more about it, is always thrilled to be joined by the World Cup of managers and hosts, Paul Micucci. Paul, how are you?
Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, a lot of money for this one.
A lot of money. So in 2018, John Tory is the mayor of Toronto, and it was the three-headed monster of Canada, Mexico, United States hosting the World Cup.
Yep.
And everyone was told, the media and the skeptics and the city fathers and everyone involved in the city, hey, it'll probably cost somewhere between $30 and $45 million to stage the World Cup games at Toronto Stadium / BMO Field. I was like, okay, that's okay.
Yep.
Now, Olivia Chow and the city of Toronto are stuck with a bill that is at least $380 million. And by the time the smoke clears, could be more than that.
Oh, yeah. It could top $500 million.
Easy.
So now, the PBO, the Office of the Parliamentary Budget Officer, came out with a report. And it was on the news, but, it's amazing. You get 30-second soundbite in the news, right?
I think they tried to bury it. Call me a cynic.
Oh, no, they did. They said it's going to cost, estimated, this is an estimate, $1 billion for all levels of government.
Yeah.
Now, you remember, we did a bunch of budget shows.
Yes.
You and I talked about the cost of this in a show way, way back before Christmas when the announcement was made and we were going through it. And we said it would never come in on budget. So we're like swamis, right? We actually
Nostradamus.
We knew. But did I think it was going to come in at $1 billion? I don't think I have. If you would have asked me an over under, I don't think I would have got this. But $1 billion. So here we are, and it looks like the federal support for this is $473 million. And then other levels of government come in at $593 million, right? So provincial and municipal, right? That's what you're talking about.
Yeah.
And we're talking about Vancouver and Toronto. So we're doing both because you have...
They're hosting the games.
Well, you have 6 games in Toronto, 7 games in Vancouver. Correct. And, $1 billion is what we talked about. 8, which it's kind of funny, because they actually are saying it's a good deal at $82 million a game.
Now, I think we should take that with a grain of salt when you say good deal. Not everyone feels that $82 million a game is a good deal, but they're trying to sell it as a good deal.
Well, they said basically Mexico, because Mexico had to do a lot of infrastructure changes. Guadalajara, Monterrey, they had to go in and build a ton of transit. So Mexico dumped massive amount of money. So their infrastructure costs added on to the FIFA, soccer costs, ended up being about $269 million a game, right? Now they only have 13 matches also.
Yes.
The US, who has 78 matches, still a high number at $142 million a game.
Absolutely. And think about it. It's transportation, security.
Oh, yeah.
The levels of security, you have local, state or provincial, and federal security just to protect not just the matches, the stadium, the players of both teams, and the fans inside and out the stadium. I'm not sure if people in Vancouver and Toronto understand the level of security we're talking about. In some cases, this is even more intense than an Olympic game at a FIFA World Cup match. So they are going to see not only an intense display of security, but a lot of paramilitary and military with automatic weapons and body armor that will be a bit of a culture shock for a lot of Canadians when they witness it around the stadiums.
Oh, yeah. The Toronto police, that was in the news a few weeks ago, they got a whole new drone package, mobile drone package, and they were showing it. It looked wild.
Oh, state-of-the-art.
State-of-the-art drones from their unit that travels around the stadium. So I pulled out some numbers, so safety numbers, because I wanted to go through them. Because, again, when you get these 30-second sound bites, you don't get all this. But from a safety perspective, Public Safety of Canada, this is on the federal side, is about $145 million. The RCMP is 79 million of security costs for this. So that's additional monies that are going to it. It's interesting. The IRCC, so immigration,
Yes.
is putting in 6.4 more million. So they're getting an increase in their budget. That's what they're getting. And then border security is 4.3 million. Internal reallocation of public safety Canada is 3.6 million. Air transport security is 3.4 million. Like, these are all the numbers that go in. Like, these are just security numbers, to the point of when you get direct security allocations for this event, out of the $1 billion, you're more than a quarter is just on safety.
Paul, I was just at Pearson Airport this weekend, flying back from Nova Scotia, seeing some family. Hi, Mom. And and so this was a May weekend.
Yeah.
Not the World Cup. No fans or officials or teams coming in yet. And it was a little gong show when my partner tried to pick me up. And the security trying to manage the tsunami of cars and hired. It's crazy at Pearson at the best of times. So Vancouver Airport, which is extremely busy, and Pearson, which is the busiest airport in Canada, will now have double and triple capacity on certain days as fans and media and officials fly in for different matches. And that is part of it, is the extra police at the airport, extra border security, trying to process at customs all the people. It's a staggering undertaking, Paul.
Well, there was a lot of complaints, and Mike was complaining about it on his show last week about the motorcades practicing around the city.
Yes.
So they had these motorcades motorcycles and different SUVs.
And they make like a phalanx around the buses.
And they were blocking off lights and everything going down highways. And they were practicing because they have to practice as a group to shut things down and move them along. Yeah. And they were practicing. So all the basically traffic jams that were occurring because of these happening across the city. And that's what we're going to be up against. Now, I don't have a lot of faith. I'll be truthful, Jim. This weekend, Bruno Mars concert, and caught a little bit of a break because, quite frankly, did you know we shut down the GO train?
I did know that.
Yeah. So
on the Barrie line, so anyone from Barrie and Western York region could not take the GO train when you were told to take the GO train to the Rogers Stadium in Dale Park.
So I wasn't feeling so great. I gotta be truthful with you. So. Yeah. Now, we spend a lot of money, right? So we not only spent a lot of money on, or going to spend a lot of money on the public safety, but we spent a lot of money to get BMO Field and BC Place ready. So
especially BMO Field, they had to add 20,000 seats.
Right. To the tune of $130 million. So that was a big capital expenditure to get them ready. But that's not even close to what these other countries, I was looking. Now, the U.S. has a little bit of a leg up on us.
They have dozens of huge state-of-the-art stadiums
exactly.
that seat 65, 75, 80,000 seats.
Exactly. And Mexico did also. The challenge with Mexico was the roads and the infrastructure, the number of people there, right? So, 100 and what, I'm probably going to get the number wrong, 135 million people.
Mexico City is still, I believe, still one of the biggest cities on the planet, right up there with Mumbai, correct?
It's crazy, right? Busy. So they had to figure out their infrastructure. But stadium costs for us per number of games was exorbitantly high. Now, the U.S. still spent a lot of money. They still did a lot of upgrades. And of course, like Americans do, Donald Trump is really geared up to make this his event, right? Because he did get 78 games. And the rest of us, North Americans, were put into the smaller zone.
We would, Paul, just real quick, Canada would have more if we had proper stadium to host these kind of events. But right now, as a country, you have a minimum seating requirement as per FIFA to host these events. We don't have the facilities. Vancouver and Toronto, that's it.
Yeah. Well, we don't. Well, and we don't have. But Jim, to be fair, right? We don't also have the population. Like, I think, and that was kind of the knock on, I think, a lot of experts that I heard, right? And, this is, it's hard to speculate because it's hard to figure out how many fans are actually in Toronto or in Canada right now and are going to watch. It's really hard to get a fix on that.
That will come. So the first match is June 12th.
Right.
And it's a Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time, Toronto time. the